Should crime victims have rights guaranteed by the Constitution? That's the question being tackled by Kentucky lawmakers again.
Marsy's law passed in 2018, but if you remember, it ran into some trouble at the state Supreme Court. LEX 18's political reporter Carolina Buchek has the update about its chances this time around.
My family and I had to stumble our way through the justice system for each of the 4 defendants' cases.
Emotional stories were shared today in an effort to get lawmakers on board with this bill, Senate Bill 15, which is better known as Marsy's Law.
I ask you to please vote yes for Marsy's Law in 2020.
If you're wondering, why does that sound so familiar? Well, it's because it is. So let's rewind. In November of 2018, voters said yes to Marsy's Law, a constitutional amendment giving victims more rights. But a problem came up. This 555-word detailed document is the actual amendment they said yes to. But on the ballot, this is what they saw.
This entire issue comes from November's ballot, and now it is here at the Supreme Court, and this court will need to figure out if this 38-word question was too vague, and did voters actually know what they were voting on?
So that brings us back to today.
We're here to talk about Marsy's Law, and it's back before you.
Marsy's Law is going through the legislative process again, because the Supreme Court decided that voters need to see the full amendment text on the ballot, not just a summary. And that's a decision the bill's sponsor still disagrees with.
Regrettably, ignored about 100 years of precedent in throwing out the ballot question, and in the process overthrew the will of the 63% of the voting public that came to exercise their right at the ballot that fall. Over 800,000 Kentuckians voted to create crime victims' constitutional rights here in Kentucky. So we're back.
But not everyone is for Marsy's Law. The Kentucky Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers believes it will hurt a defendant's right to a fair trial.
The machinery, the power of the Commonwealth through its prosecutors, through its law enforcement, is levied against that person who faces those charges. That person is presumed to be innocent. That person has constitutionally guaranteed rights to protect them from that power, from that machinery of the government.
But lawmakers disagreed. Marsy's Law passed out of committee today. In Frankfort, Carolina Buchek, LEX 18 News.